And I actually do know if we have like a genuine connection or chemistry beyond the normal, I promise you, within the first like 2 minutes. And I don't think that's dramatic at all. I really feel like I can confidently say the first 30 seconds because it's just something you can't fake. Like it's either there or it's not. And it does not take long at all to sense it. At least when you're like in tune with your like intuition and spirit and energy, like it don't take long. Even through text, I promise you, even through text, I could just tell like, oh my gosh, this ain't gonna work.
I think a big problem that a lot of guys have is they deny the reality that a lot of girls figure out within the first 30 seconds if they're attracted to the guy for real or not. A lot of guys hide behind the cope of, well, if she just gets to know me and I give her more, maybe she'll get to like me eventually. Not if you want genuine burning attraction, that is. There's plenty of girls out there that want that perfect man, but they've never encountered him. So if you're there, you're the best currently, then they'll still entertain you and maybe even give you a relationship, but you'll never be everything they want, and that's the problem. That is pretty much determined in the first 30 seconds. Now, obviously, a lot of critics will start talking about how it's only about looks and only about attraction, of course, physically, that is. Of course, there's a physical component to this, but it's not the full story. A lot of it comes down to the choices and the way the guy carries himself. His vibe, aura, energy, whatever you want to call it. The reason a lot of guys hate this is because it's a little bit abstract in nature and it's not exactly black and white and clear and calculatable. How do you define aura, energy, whatever it is? It all seems like wishy-washy language, is what a lot of people say. If that's the case, then how come you can point it out when another guy has it? One of the first guys that comes to mind, of course, is someone like A$AP Rocky. You can tell that somebody like A$AP Rocky obviously knows he's the and he acts that way. I'm sure there's a number of people that would refer to him as being attractive, but I'm not so convinced that it's purely based on his physical attraction as much as it is about the act, the aura, the energy, if you will. Now, I know a lot of you guys may not like this example, but MGK. They'll have different variations of this aura or vibe, energy, whatever you want to call it, that I'm talking about. All right, let's see what Asking Alicia has to say.
I don't know if it's just me, but I can tell on a dating app pretty much within the first few hours or definitely the first day of talking to a guy if that's going to end up in a date or not. And even more than that, I can tell when someone's been on the app forever, like for years and years and years, versus someone who's kind of new to it and wants to get off the dating app. And I think I've narrowed it down to this one, it's always this one thing. It's guys who don't want to go on a date but want to be pen pals. I can almost tell when a guy is having a conversation with me and I just know that this is his 1000th conversation. And he's not doing anything wrong, but it's almost too perfect and too rehearsed. Like he just has so many pickup lines and so many things that he's clearly done 1,000 times. And it's almost too smooth to the point where I can tell, oh, this person just wants to have a million conversations and be on the apps forever. They're so good at it that they don't actually want to go on a date with me. And the guys that I do end up going on dates with or just like actually having a relationship with have a completely different way of talking. But that's another video. Let me know if you want me to make a video on that. And also if you're a man and you need specific dating advice or dating app advice, check the link in my bio and download Muse.
What I can't tell with this one is whether or not everything she said was filtered through some sort of emotional cope or whether it was real. When I say emotional cope, what I think is that she found many of those guys unattractive for whatever reason and is now trying to find some sort of retroactive reason as to why that was the case when in reality, she just didn't like them. The other part of me believes that there is a certain percentage of guys that go on dating apps for exclusively feminine reasons. Getting attention. There's a certain subsect of men that doesn't even believe in dating apps to start with. So they may use it just to see what's out there, but they don't have any actual inclination to go on a date with anybody off a dating app. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm in that camp to some degree, but I do have an excuse. I got sponsored by a dating app a long time ago, so I use that app here and there just to basically say shit to girls for the fun of it so I can then post that on my private community. I have zero intention of flying out to all these different locations to meet up with these hundreds of girls, so I don't bother, to be honest. But it is funny to see the low-level dialogue on dating apps and how sometimes the counterintuitive shit works the best. Not to mention, of course, there's tons of bot accounts and tons of accounts of girls looking for soft lives. Let me give you an example of such dialogue. I'm very self-motivated. I always find a way to get what I want. What is it that you want? Well, I'm on this app because I'm looking for a man who offers emotional security, deep commitment, and financial stability, someone who values, supports, and invests in me as a partner, not just romantically, but practically. In general, I just want a life of ease. I understand that, yes. Luckily for you, I want a life of difficulty. Sounds like a match. I left it unread. So naturally, a lot of guys are totally shit on dating apps, but when this is the type of dialogue you receive, are you really that surprised? In case you missed the hidden message in that dialogue, let me translate it for you. I not only want a man that loves me unconditionally, but I also want a man that unconditionally invests in my business with no expectation of return. Good luck in your fantasy land. Hey guys, before we continue, I just want to quickly let you know that I do have a dating course available where I go over all the essential concepts of modern dating. Make sure to check it out. I put the link in the description for you. Let's get back to the video. All right, and the last one, filmed by Erica.
You think women take hours to decide if they like you? Nope, it's the first 10 minutes, sometimes less. Before you even place your order, she's already made a decision in her head. You just don't know it yet. The second you walk in, she's scanning you, not in a shallow way, but in a reading your energy way. She's checking your posture, your confidence, how you greet her.
It's exactly at this moment where all the looks maxers and the copers are going to come in and start talking about how she only cares about your attractiveness at this moment. Now, of course, if you believe in that, fair enough. I can see why you would do so. Then again, one of the main reasons I disagree with that stance is because I've seen very handsome men that show up, and the moment they open their mouth, the attraction disappears instantaneously. Clearly, it's more than just about physical attraction, but it is what it is.
Or how you treat the staff. She's asking herself, do I feel safe? Do I feel seen? Do I feel anything? And those answers determine everything that comes next.
So just to be clear, she doesn't logically ask herself these questions in her head. This is all emotionally processed dynamically, automatically. Okay, so this is not something that she's sitting there being like, check box 1, check box 2, I feel safe, I feel this. No, this is automatically processed. If she likes him enough, she'll be in almost a haze of sorts. Every time he says something, she's super engaged in what he's saying. And ideally, she feels a couple butterflies or something like this. She's super eager to keep talking. She's in this state of mind now, right? Where she's psychologically making herself very vulnerable to this guy.
You walk in with slouched shoulders, eyes down, basically feeling bad for existing, she will notice that. If you walk in
the same way, guys don't know they're actively doing this. When you walk in with slouched shoulders, it's not like you know consciously that you're doing that, but your body is reflective of your mind. And I talk about this quite often. Good posture is a physical representation of a healthy mind. Your head position, your shoulders, your arms, etc., all of it is a representation of your mind. This is one of those many scenarios where psychology translates into physiology. Women are pretty good at determining what you think of yourself. Of course, that doesn't mean there aren't con artists, obviously. There are some guys that are very good at manipulating the body cues, even though their mind is a mess, but this is a minority of men that are even able to pull this off. When guys throw out that criticism about how girls are attracted to losers, it's that fringe case they're referring to, because sometimes it happens. Some guys are just really good at putting on the face, even though they might be totally low status males.
Overcompensating, loud, trying to prove something, she will notice that as well. You don't need to perform, you need to be composed. Grounded men make women relax. Next thing she notices.
Okay, so I'll quickly correct this because I know her intention is in the right place, but it absolutely always is performative. Let's just be honest about it. The main difference is this. Your performance is so good that she can't tell that it's a performance. That's when you know it's good. A lot of people are obviously going to criticize that and say, well, if you're being yourself, then you're not performing. The objective truth, of course, is that we all have different versions of ourselves. And the first time we meet a girl, obviously there's going to be a bit of a performance to it. Even if it's to a 1% degree, it's still a performance no matter what you say. Now, in the best case scenarios, of course, that performance is you. Of course, when you just start out dating as a guy, that disparity between performance and reality is going to be larger. This is just the way it is. We all have that guy in our minds that we want to be. How close we are to that guy is what's going to determine how heavy our performance needs to be. When you get to your subjective peak, whatever that is, that won't feel like a performance any longer. All right, it's going to be automatic.
Is how you make her feel during silence. If you rush to fill every pause with nervous chatter.
When you reach the subjective peak of whatever man you want to be, only at that point will it feel automatic and not like a performance, when in reality, once again, it's always a performance to some degree. There are certain things you'll say to your best friends that you won't say to your wife. There's a reason for that.
It's telling her that you feel uncomfortable. But if you can just be, take a sip, smile, stay calm, that's attractive. Because now she can breathe, and when a woman feels comfortable around you, attraction follows.
Typically, of course, this comes from experience, which is unflattering to a lot of girls, but how else are you going to be super comfortable? Obviously, it comes from thousands of iterations. Even take her performance versus mine in this video for an example. You can tell she's super stiff with the way she's presenting her points because she's just getting used to this whole influencer BS. You can just tell she hasn't gone through the iterations yet.
She also clocks a lot of small things that you think don't matter. Did you put your phone away? Did you smell good? Did you make eye contact while she was speaking? And those things speak louder than anything you'll say all night. So no, you don't need the perfect line or story to win her over. You need presence, composure, and genuine attention. The first 10 minutes tells her everything, not about your looks, but about your energy. And if she feels calm around you, you already won. My phone was falling that whole video, but come back for more Harsh Sister advice.
Not gonna lie, the last little bit of that video, I was distracted because it felt like she was just reading off a PowerPoint slide. You know, like those presentations your teachers used to make you do in high school? Something like this. I'm not trying to be mean, so if you see this video, keep at it, keep doing iterations. Eventually it'll seem much more natural and won't feel as orchestrated. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Make sure to check my links in the description below.